Welcome to another episode of Sports and Discourse with your host, Derek Stevenson. And today I got my guy, Nephew Q, back on the show with me, North Carolina's finest. And today we just going to hate on Duke, man, because it's just what type of time we on, man.
Hell yeah.
Nephew Q, how did you feel sending Coach K into retirement with that big L last night, man?
I mean, to be quite honest, bro, words can't describe the feeling, the fact. I told somebody that 20-point blowout that they gave us a month ago at our house, they should have saved that for yesterday, or they should have saved that for the Coach K game. But man, when the last 2 minutes and we had the lead, I was like, oh, man, please just don't trick this off. Please don't trick this off. And Duke kept missing, and I was like, oh, Lord, boy, Lordy, yes, man. So I'm thrilled. I'm excited, bro. I'm beyond excited.
Man, listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. I wasn't really sure what was gonna happen, because North Carolina kind of been having they had some struggles this year, and they showed some signs where they could get hot and look like they could compete with anybody, but then they kind of had some letdowns. So I just really wasn't sure how they was gonna show up, but they showed up though.
Yeah, the thing about North Carolina this season, it's not that we lose, because every team is gonna lose. There's never gonna. Well, I ain't gonna say never, but the chances of a team going undefeated is slim to none. So us losing, it's an issue, but it's not that big of an issue. My problem was when we lost, we kept losing by 15, 20. Like, we kept getting blown out when we lost. It wasn't like we was losing 5, 7, close ball games. We just kept getting blown out. So yesterday's game was a Duke game, man. I was like, I don't know, bro. I don't know. But North Carolina came out with some intensity out the gate, and then you seen the results there at the end.
Yes, sir. Do you think that it might have been a little too much pressure for the Duke players?
Absolutely. All the pressure was on them to make sure that they send Coach K. They did not want to be the team that had the final loss on Coach K, and that is a lot of pressure to play under for a guy who's been at Duke for 42 seasons now, I believe, all-time winningest coach, 5 titles. Like, everybody knows the resume, and that team had the pressure of making sure not only did they not lose, but they not lose to North Carolina at home for Coach K's final game. That's a lot of pressure.
It is, man. Plus, you got to factor in, too, they already charging people like Super Bowl tickets to get in. And then,
absolutely.
And then on top of that, they got all kinds of legends. Well, Duke legends. They not legends to me, but Duke legends in the building.
And that adds even more pressure to perform, because you look up in the rafters and you got Grant Hill, Jay Williams, Christian, like the list goes on and on. Bobby, like the list goes on and on as far as like you said, Duke legends. So if I'm a young player at Duke, I'm looking up and I see all of these guys that Coach K has got to the NBA or they're Duke legends just in themselves. And we got it, man. It was just so much pressure for Duke players. And as you can tell, the palms got sweaty, butt cheeks got tight.
Yes, sir, man. And I know I had seen somewhere you had posted where I think it was what assistant coach was that? Was it Carrawell?
Yeah, Chris Carrawell didn't shake Hubert Davis's hand at the end.
How you feel about that, man?
So I've been researching about this because I wanted to know if there was a backstory, if they had some bad blood back in the day or something. I didn't find anything. The only thing I could find was Chris Carrawell said that Hubert Davis didn't shake the Duke's coach's hands prior to the tip-off, which is customary for the rivalry, right? Well, upon further research, Hubert Davis did go shake Coach K's hand. So we found out that was just an excuse for him to use. So I felt good because it's like we beat y'all ass that bad where you didn't even want to shake my guy's hand after the game. So that made me feel good. I like it. Keep that same pettiness.
Yeah, man. And to be honest with you, I really don't even normally even really try to get into that because I try to just focus on Kentucky, right? But I was glued to this one, man, and I was rooting for y'all so hard, pause. Like, I was on it all game. Because like I said, I just really wasn't sure what type of team was gonna show up for y'all. So whenever it
Mm-hmm.
was just looking real good, and like, you know, Duke was making some baskets, and then y'all would just keep making baskets, and then Duke would
Yep.
make a play, and then y'all would make a play, and I was like, oh man, this is getting ready to start looking
Yeah.
real good for North Carolina, man. And you
We
know,
just kept it close.
and here's my thing, man. I know me being a Kentucky guy, right? Like I'm not supposed to hate Duke as much as you guys do, right? And
Mm-hmm.
probably we shouldn't even worry about Duke as much as we do because, you know, we had our one little bad moment with them, but realistically, that's not really our main concern. Like y'all supposed to handle that. But
Right.
that that one shot has stung Kentucky's fan base so bad that I felt like we all came together yesterday and we all was North Carolina fans yesterday, man. We was honorary North Carolina fans, man. And I respect Coach K a great deal, man. But it felt so good to just see him go out like that, man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
It feels like you said, nobody can take away Coach K's accolades and everything that he's accomplished. Some people might even say he's the greatest coach of all time, especially the greatest modern day coach of all time. So you give him all the respect and everything, but at the same time, it's still a competitive sport. Now, all of that, is great, fine, and dandy, but I ain't trying to have all of that on me. I ain't trying to be the team that Coach K beat for his ass game. No, I ain't trying to have all of that. No, bro, you can keep all those accolades. You just gonna take this one L with you on the way out. But like you were saying, as far as the Duke, North Carolina, Kentucky whole blue bloods thing, um, Duke has built up such a hatred in college basketball in general. I think a lot of people, well, I ain't gonna say a lot of fan bases were rooting for North Carolina yesterday. I think for 2.5 hours, majority of college basketball fans became Carolina fans because Duke has caused a lot of heartbreak to a lot of teams. And so for this one night, everybody was like, we want to see it happen to Duke. And it ended up happening to Duke. And so everybody, a lot of fan bases are a little happier. They respect Coach K, but they glad he went out with an L.
Yeah, man. I definitely was. I actually watched his speech. Um, you know, I don't know if you watched it, but after the game
Yeah,
when he
after the game, yeah.
gave his farewell speech, and you know, like I said, man, you can't do nothing but respect the guy because you got to respect winning. And college basketball to me is one of outside of like the NFL, right? NFL is the most competitive sports league, period, in my opinion.
Nah, you're right. No disagreement here.
But outside of that, I think college basketball might maybe be number two because I feel like to win the NCAA championship, man, you just really have to have like a whole month where you are just like firing on all cylinders. Like you gotta start with your
Mm-hmm.
conference tournament in order to get the best seed you can get, and then you gotta go into a tournament where you have to play on neutral courts most of the time, and play against unfamiliar teams and win like 5 or 6 games. You know what I mean? And you gotta be on point, and the games just keep getting more competitive all the way to the end. So you know, you can't do nothing but respect a guy that's did it 5 times, and that's one of the things that I even use to measure against other coaches because I'm like, he's so good, but yet realistically he's only won probably like 15 to 17% of the years that he's actually been at Duke. Um,
Mm-hmm.
but yeah, man, but he's an amazing coach, man. You know, I I wonder how it's going to affect Duke going forward, man. What do you see from Duke in the near future? Is it y'all's time to just take over? Is it North Carolina's time to just tear them up for the next 10 to 15 years?
Yesterday was a springboard game for us. And what I mean by that is that we were the lesser talented team, we were the smaller team, and yet we were able to knock off this Duke team with title aspirations. Now for recruiting, that's going to do a lot for Hubert Davis. Maybe not for this incoming class, but for the next class after that, because he's shown that he can coach. He took a lesser talented team and beat Coach K at his house when Coach K had the upper hand. That means a lot to high school recruits because they want to know they can play for a guy who knows what the hell he's doing out there. And yes, and during that game, I don't know if people noticed this, but we had 4 Carolina players who scored over 20 points yesterday. So again, if I'm a high school recruit, I'm looking at that and like, oh, they got wide open style. A lot of people getting a lot of shots. It's not the old Roy Williams type of system. Maybe. So now the top 25 recruits are starting to look at North Carolina where versus they were unsure at first because of Hubert Davis. So I think it helped us more than it helped Duke. Now Duke, I believe, has a number 1 and number 2 recruiting class coming in. So I think Duke will be fine. I think Duke will be Duke. I just got to see what this old Hubert Davis thing, see what type of recruits we're going to get in there,
man. Yeah. When you look at Hubert Davis and then you can look at like Penny Hardaway, and they both kind of had some struggles. And I think you're starting to see that it's still hard to be a successful college coach, even if you are loaded up with talent. Do you think that Jon Scheyer is going to go through the same struggles or maybe even worse potentially?
No, because a lot of people are dependent on feeling like Coach K is the best basketball coach of all time, right? So when he personally picks his successor, people automatically assume, oh, this guy must be just like Coach K. So he's gonna, keep the program right where it should be, needs to be, and is going to be. So that helps them out. When Roy Williams picked his successor, Roy Williams was a great coach, but nobody considered him the greatest coach of all time or anything like that. So when he picked his successor, it was like, well, we're not sure about this guy. Even though Hubert Davis has been on the bench, we don't know. So I think people have more confidence in Coach K picking his successor than they did in Roy Williams picking his successor.
I got you. Well, we'll find out soon enough, man, because a lot of these new guys, man, they have been getting humbled real fast. And
real fast.
And I'm I wish them all success, but it wouldn't bother me a bit if I seen Scheyer going through some of those same struggles, man.
Well, I want him to struggle. I want him to struggle coaching. I want him to struggle with recruitment. I want him to struggle with everything. Not because I dislike him, but just because of the program. So I hope he doesn't achieve the goals and status that Coach K thinks he can. I hope they got to get a new coach in about 2-3 years.
That would be wonderful, man. So, of all the years that you've been watching this rivalry, where do you rank this game for you personally?
Oh, shoot.
Oh man, my guy nephew Q, we lost our connection. Let me hang on for a minute and see if he get back in here, man. Cause I gotta have him answer. Here we go. Nephew Q, you back?
My bad. You heard my fault. I don't know what happened.
It's all good, brother. You back? So yeah. So I was asking you, where does this game rank, man, for you?
This game is going to rank in my top 5 just because of the significance of it. Of course, there have been other Duke North Carolina games where you've had NBA talent on both sides. Numerous first-round draft picks or numerous NBA draft picks. Period. There have been a little bit closer, more exciting games. You got the Austin Rivers game at the buzzer. You got the Dante Jones game. You got the Danny Green game when he dunked on, I forgot who he dunked on. You got the Hansbrough game where he got the bloody nose. I mean, there's so many memorable moments. But for me, this one is going to be in my personal top 5 just because of the significance of what that game meant. And like I was telling somebody in the group, Facebook group page, the ACC turned, they was like, oh, well, you act like this is y'all title. Okay, that's fair. But the thing is that we'll have an ACC champion next year. We'll have an ACC champion the next year. We'll have we'll always be there. Will always be an ACC regular season and postseason champion. There will never be another Coach K home game. So for us to send Coach K out on a game he can no longer coach anymore, he has to sit with that L in retirement, means a lot to me. Means a whole hell of a lot to me.
Yes, sir. And let me ask you a question, man. Now that you know the outcome of the game, do you wish you would have had the 5,000 to get you a seat in there, man?
Yeah, yeah.
I might have went and paid $5. Now I still would have had to wear a Kentucky shirt in there, but I might have dropped the 5,000 to see it if I would have known what I know now, man.
Now, yeah. If I'd have known this outcome was gonna be the outcome, and I had the 5 bands to do something like that, oh hell yeah, I'm witnessing that firsthand, my own account, because that's one of those things. That's gonna be one of those where were you moments. Where were you at Coach K's last home game? I was actually at the game. For real? So now that would have been dope to be there to witness it firsthand.
Yes, sir, man. I might even watch a replay of it, man. I loved it that much, man.
Hey, you ain't gonna be by yourself, man. I might be watching the replay my damn self.
Yes, sir, man. So moving forward, man, how y'all gonna finish the season, man? What y'all gonna do?
See, it goes back to what you were saying earlier about the up and down team. So this team that played against Duke showed that they got fight, they can hit clutch baskets. When the offense is working, we can beat anybody. Defense played a little bit better than I've seen them play in a long time. But it's, can we consistently do this for the next 3 or 4 weeks? And like you said, all it takes is one team to get hot, and maybe this is that springboard game for us to where we get hot and make I'm not gonna say a title run, but maybe a Elite 8 run. I would be okay with that for us. So I see it. For me, the max is the Elite 8. At least I say we go home first weekend. That's just how I view it. If we make it to the Final Four, hell yeah. But I see if we get hot, we can at least make it to the Elite 8.
Do you feel like that L that Coach K took, do you feel like it's gonna motivate his team, or you think it's gonna be like something that's stuck in the back of their minds that might cause them to fold early in the tournament?
Now, I think it'll motivate them because they'll look at it from the standpoint of, okay, we let Coach K go out in the regular season with an L. Let's make sure we send him out with a championship. Make sure we don't lose again, so we can say that was the last time he lost in the regular season, but he got a title at the end of the season. So I think his players will be motivated to make sure he doesn't lose again.
Well, I hope the rest of America is motivated to make sure we don't see that happen, because that could be the absolute worst ending to a basketball season that I may have ever seen, man. I just do not want that to happen, man.
I don't either. I do not want to see Coach K go out winning it all. So no, I want his last 2 losses to be to us and to whoever else. I don't care who does it, but do it.
Yes, sir. One more thing before I let you go. I just wanted to ask you, so basically, let me see, how can I say it? Like, you know how sometimes, like, or even Coach Cal, right? So Coach Cal has the lifetime, like, contract with UK or whatever, right? So right. I'm sure whenever he decides to coach, they probably gonna use him to like do consulting, and they might give him some kind of a position where he's still on the payroll, but he's not technically coaching. Do you see Duke doing that for Coach K as well, or do you think he's just gonna leave basketball alone altogether?
I don't think he'll leave basketball alone altogether. I think he'll definitely be helping Shire out for a while with game. Question about matchups or adjustments or things of that nature. I think Coach K is still be there to help him out. But as far as like being still on a payroll type of thing, Nah, I think Coach K is going to be fine with riding off into the sunset, with his family, spending time with them, and not feeling like he's obligated to do stuff for Duke when called upon by John Shire. Hey, I'm stepping away. This is Shire's program now. I'm going back to the back. Coach K's still around. So he has to step back and let John Shire feel like it's his program and not his program, but Coach K is over his shoulder. So I think Coach K will take a step back, but only come through when Shire needs his help.
Right, I got you, man. Well, hey, man, listen, I ain't gonna hold you too much longer, brother. I appreciate you getting on here with me, and hopefully we'll be able to get back on again and make fun of them when they get busted in the tournament, man.
And I hope so. I hope they lose real soon too.
Absolutely, man. But anyways, I appreciate it, man, and we'll get at it again, brother.
I appreciate it, D Money. Holla at you, boy.
All right, brother. There you got it. Sports and Discourse with Derek Stevenson.